What's up guys, this is Cher talking, welcome back to my channel. On today's video, I'll be showcasing Merlot-Syrah and Ice Cream Galahad, the two best farmers we have right now in the game for the free quest mode, because they cover two different elements and they can solo many different stages. And I'll be showcasing their power when using double S weapons, when using triple S weapons, and the difference in power between the characters. Well, we needed zero ground to test this, and there is this stage called Mountain Region, Desolated Highlands 2-4. Here the enemies will be weak to cold and lightning. That means that both Merlot-Syrah with her lightning attack and Galahad with his cold attack will be on their max potential. So another thing that I needed to do was to get their STR to the same values. For example, Galahad has 270 and Merlot-Syrah has exactly the same, 270. You can see that I have two promotions and hidden status being on max as well for Merlot-Syrah, and you can see the same for Galahad as well. Just look on the promotion and hidden status. So now that we have base level, everyone is equipping the same equipments as well. We can see the full potential when fighting the same enemies. I'm using the Godspeed transformation because this one is better for Merlot-Syrah. Galahad is already a fast attacker. He can use the Magia Fight formation as well if you want. 4 cards in the back row that don't activate any passive or wait to increase the damage to make it even easier to see their base damage. For the first test, we'll be running Galahad with a double S weapon, the Galatine that was given for free with 90% damage increase and 47 weapon power. Let's see how much damage we can get out of Galahad. This is more for just comparison's sake because we got a triple S weapon in the new 3.5 anniversary and that makes Galahad much better. But we have 122k in the first hit and then 110,000k in the second hit versus this Lime that has the highest weakness. So we could say that Galahad does around 230,000 when using a double S weapon. The problem is that he didn't kill the enemies. You can see that they survived it. Right now on free quest, the minions have around 240 and 250,000. So Galahad lacks the power when using a double S weapon. The second test, we use Merlot-Syrah with the Dual Storm Spear, her dedicated weapon. Let's go. Okay, so let's see the slime again. Focus on the damage. We had around 320,000. That's really 35% increase in damage. That's quite big difference in damage comparing Merlot-Syrah and Galahad. Merlot-Syrah is much faster when attacking, and even with the double S weapon, that's more than enough to kill the enemies. Remember that I said 240 to 250,000 HP. It did much more than that. But now, since Galahad got a triple S weapon for free during 3.5 anniversary, he was soloing content right from the start. But then, Merlot-Syrah didn't have this opportunity. And now we should compare the damage from Galahad triple S weapon versus Merlot-Syrah double S weapon. Let's see how much you do now. Well, these enemies are not as weak as the slimes, but from my tests, he should do around 300,000 with a triple S weapon. I think that Octopus is the one that gets a little closer to the weakness. But that's right, 300,000 damage versus enemies that are weak using a triple S weapon. 300,000, that's not even as much as Merlot-Syrah using a double S weapon. And here it comes something that needs to be discussed. If your Merlot-Syrah already kills the enemies with a double S weapon, it's even stronger than Galahad when using a triple S weapon. Should you really upgrade your double S weapon for Merlot-Syrah? And the truth is, you really don't need to. I did that for science to make this video. I upgraded the Smog weapon in order to see the full potential of Merlot-Syrah. And there is something that it's interesting. If he gets some banner styles that have AoE attacks that can be used twice in a row, and you want to use Merlot-Syrah versus enemies that are not weak to the element, That can be interesting. But before we discuss that, let's move and check the damage of Merlot-Syrah using a SSS weapon. Okay, let's focus on the Octopus. Well, there are plenty here, because they seem to be a little weaker than the others. But 400,000 damage on average. That's right. That is a lot. And the highest we can get with Galahad is 300,000. That equals more than 30% increase when comparing both using SSS weapons. And it's overkill. The enemies will die. Well, the enemies don't have that much HP. But then again, let's say that you just want to run Merlot-Syrah all the time, because you don't want to keep changing your squads. You just want to use Merlot-Syrah with a better style to get the increased bonus. And, well, this will help, especially if you are on a stage that has just one enemy, for example. You can either run the third skill, Chain Lightning. This one has beat power, but every time you attack, you do a little less, or just run Assault. If you don't kill the enemies, it's better to run Assault, because in this case, with a SSS weapon, Assault will do much more damage, and then you can bring a better style that will help kill the enemy with a second attack. And you'll still be using 2 characters and 3 trainees. That's one of the reasons to upgrade the Spear for Merlot-Syrah. And the other case is that maybe you want to use Merlot-Syrah in a stage where the enemies are not weak to Pierce or Lightning. And that is something that may work, but again, you have to bring a better style that has an AoE attack, because that will help you the enemies. For example, we can run a stage here that has enemies that are weak to Slash and see how much we can get. So, here we're doing neutral damage. Let's see how much damage we can get. Around 105,000 on the first hit, and around 100,000 on the second hit, to 90,000 on the third hit. Because we got 3 hits, we killed the enemies, but you could say that averagely you will get around 200,000 with Merlot-Syrah by using a SSS weapon on non-weak enemies. And then your better style or other attacker, we just have to do around 50,000 with each wave in order to kill the enemies. So there is a reason to upgrade the Spear for Merlot-Syrah, but it's not an emergency situation. You can wait, because right now, if Merlot-Syrah is soloing, there is no need for higher power. And Galahad did need the SSS upgrade, but he got it for free. So that makes both accessible and useful. And, well, if you don't have any of those 2 characters, maybe when they get a rerun, it will be interesting to get them, since now free quest is something that we'll be doing a lot from here on out. With that said, that's the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't. If you want to support the channel, there are links in the description of the video. And don't forget to join our Discord server, where we talk about romancing SaGa and learn JRPGs in general. I hope to see you soon in the next video or live stream.